today I thought I'd show you this little shadow box die that I've bought, and I'm really quite impressed with it. So that's the finished kind of size that you're going to get, and yeah, I really quite like it. And I've bought the extra like little inlay to make the fairy bridge, I think this one's called. So I'm going to be doing that one. But in the meantime, what I have been doing is just been making different varieties of them. So this one, you can actually use it as a get well card, I suppose, but I've added like a little add-on to incorporate a tag, and I've just made a bookmark just to go inside, just to give it some interest. This one I've made into like a 21st, again incorporating a bookmark and a tag. So yeah, the possibilities are endless. So the bookmark tag that I've been using is this. Excuse me. That makes a nice size excuse me size bookmark. And this is an unbranded die that I've used, and that makes the little tag, the raised tag pocket, should I say. So what I'll do is I will just start making the basic box for you, the shadow box, and see how this one turns out, the fairy one. So follow me on my journey of that. Excuse my croaky voice, I've just recovered from COVID. Not got it for like over 2 years, and then a couple of weeks ago managed to contract it. As soon as I stopped wearing a mask, anyway, I diverse. So follow me if you like while I make this little card. Okay, so what I've done, I've actually made one of the little fairy cards, shadow boxes, but I've also made like a little envelope box for it using the Crafter's Companion envelope boxer. So I'll add a video on how I've done that another time, but I'm sure there's lots of videos out there showing you how to do it. So basically, here's the finished shadow box, which I think looks absolutely adorable. My granddaughter's going to love it. So there it is, and I've done it in black and white, as you can see, and it's turned out really quite cute. Really quite pleased with that, with the depth. It's a 1 inch depth, and yeah, it's relatively easy to put together, although it can be a bit fiddly. So let me show you how I did it. Just have to be careful putting this back in its box because we've got fairy wings and dragonflies to look out for. So I will be using my Gemini Junior and my little Spellbinders die cutting machine. I've put my die cutting machine on top of this like spinning spice rack, and it works quite well. So there's a little tip for you. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. And off we go. Right, so first of all, we're going to have to use these dies here. These are your base dies, and we are going to be using this one and this one. These are the main two that you want from this collection here. So what we're going to do, because I think I'm going to continue doing a black and white theme, I'm going to get my black card. So, and I am going to cut a piece out. You would think I've got a craft room upstairs. Oh, now back to crafting on my dining room table. I find I'm too isolated upstairs. I like to be with my dogs and my husband when he's around. So that's what I'm going to do. You can put these through the machine together like that, but I did that and ended up, I'm lucky, I didn't end up breaking it because I didn't tape it down. So I prefer to do it straight through, one pass on its own. Right, so let me get the plates, and I'm going to need a new plate because it's started to get a bit mucky. Right, so I'm going to put this through my die cutting machine. Swivel it round so I can grab the back of it. What you'll find is that this, because this is thick card, you'll probably have to just go down with a scoreboard for your lines. So we'll put that to one side because we're only going to use that the once. So we'll put that there, and we'll get another piece of card. I don't like to waste card, so this is your main part of it. I'm going to turn that over to stop it from walking, and place that on there. And then right, so you are going to need this square die here to make the aperture. So what you want to do, this wants to be the front of your card, and that piece there wants to be the back of your card. So when you put it together, you're not seeing that frame there. I mean, you could put it that way, but I prefer to put it that way so you don't see the frame. So in order to do that, position this smack bang in the centre and run it through your die cutting machine. I don't like to use tape to tape it down, because when you peel it off, even though it's not so sticky, you can still put a bit of the paper up. What I like to try and do, try and get this really straight. Might take a bit of time for you to do, and then gently place it on top. There you go. It's probably moved, but no big deal. Moment of truth. Oh no, it stayed in place. So that has cut the aperture out with the front of the card. I mean, you see what I mean, what I did to my die? It's a wonder it survived. That's why I like to do things separately. Right, so I've also rescored the lines. And that's basically your box, your shadow box. So what I will do now, because you don't want me to be die cutting all the time, is I'm just going to start cutting out the inlays. And once I've done all that, I'll come back and show you how I assemble the card. Right, I thought I'd just run through this process with you. So like I say, you're going to need this die here. So I'm going to put that on there. Now, the first inlay, or this is the second, but it doesn't matter which order you cut them as long as you know which order you want to place them. So you need to get that pretty straight and taped. I am going to tape this because it's important that you keep this straight. You don't want it skew-if because it will spoil the look. It's all about precision. Let's have a look, see if this is, oh no, that's a bit cheating here. So let's put a bit of tape on this just to keep it from sliding. Can be a little bit time consuming, this can, but it's better to get it right. And you might have to put it through your die cutting machine a couple of times, or maybe just put a piece of card where the intricate bit needs cutting out, which I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put a piece of card on there and then swivel that round and run this through the die cutting machine again. So what I did for the first, you could use all the layers, but I just cut one out and stuck it flat to the card. Let's grab this before it drops out. Right, let's just have a look at this. Hopefully it's cut all, yeah, it's done what it's supposed to do. So I have to take this off. So what it's done, just pull this off gently so it doesn't take the top layer of paper off. So when you poke all this through, it will sort of like, I'm gonna recrease these again, rescore them, but that is one of the layers of your card. So I hope that is quite explanatory. So you're going to need your inlay with this die here, like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut out all the elements that I need. I've basically rescored them because you lose the line, or it's because the card's quite thick. So I've cut all them out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this box together. I've also cut all the elements that, like the fairies and the bows. I mean, the bows, this bow, I think looks really quite pretty. And it's this die that I've used. Doesn't look much when you see it. It's an unbranded die. Basically, you just make the bow up. And also the Make-A-Wish die here, I've kept all the little letters that have come out of it, and I'm going to paper piece so you can see the Make-A-Wish in a different colour. Anyway, enough rabbiting on, so let's put this together. So basically what I would do is I would stick that on the base. Again, this is the first layer. You could have used a 3D piece, but I decided I'm just going to stick that on to the base like so. And then I am going to stick this die, sorry, this piece of card like that, getting that seam just tucked inside there, like that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I like to use a wet glue when it decides to come out. So don't need a lot of this. when you're using black card, it shows up every little speck. So let's just stick that on there. I'm going to get that level with the top because I don't want it peeking out. So make sure that it's the right way up, and these lips are kind of at the side. So now we want to stick that onto there. So I'm going to just run some glue down this side here, move that out of the way for a bit. If you can hear snoring, it's my dogs, not me. I'm used to it. So I'm going to also put a bit of glue on, can you see that side? Right. You can use tape, but I like a bit of wiggle room when I'm assembling these cards. Right, so stick that, making sure you get corner to corner and crease to crease. Because it is kind of important that you get this right, because if you don't, when you come to close the card, it can buckle if it's not. So I put a bit of glue on that. That's not such a concern because you can cover that. Right, so that's that bit there. So next, basically, it's just like a typical shadow box. You build the scene up. So let's get the next one. And I'm going to, again, attach it to there. So each one, I'm going to layer up on the top, making sure that it's flat on. So let's get some glue on that. There. So let's open this up and then just making sure that's level and flat. Like I say, it can be a bit fiddly, but get this end right and you're good to go. And that's why I like the wet glue, so I can push everything into place. And that's it. Like that. Get rid of that glue. I have to apologise for my dog snoring. Right. So again, we'll put that on there. That's it. Making sure that's level. And that it's on top. Just squeeze it down. This side is more easy to do because if you can see something out of line, you can easily just adjust it, like so. This glue is good because it doesn't set straight away, so it gives you plenty of time to get it right. Right, I'm trying to show you here. Right down to a gnat's whisker. You want that sitting on top of the other one. Right. So again, what we'll do, we'll put this one on top of there, like so. I'm going to say, you're going to have fun with the other side. So my glue is a bit drippy. Right, making sure it's the right way up. Open card up, stick it on, and then look from the side, like so. Squeeze it with my tweezers. There. You could go down with a bone folder, but I normally do that afterwards to make sure everything is stuck. Right, so now the fun starts, the other side. So it's starting to take shape. Right, so what I do is I glue it all at once, because you can't keep opening it up. So let's stick some glue on this side. Alright, I'll stick some glue on there. Then under that lip, this is how I find it best. You might know an easier way, but this leaves me room for adjustment. So then I'll stick the sides. Like I say, it's fiddly. It's easy enough to do, but fiddly. So if you like fiddly stuff, you'll be in your elements. Right, that should be enough. Right, so I'm going to concentrate on just closing that back piece there, getting that in place. There's my tweezers. So get that back piece in, stuck there, and then it'll leave you time to adjust this side. So you can see I'm going to move that down while I've got plenty of time to do so. Squeeze it. It's like really important that you get these stuck down straight. And bring that down. And that's it. That's why I glue it all, because I just find it's just so much easier. I'll just straighten this up. That's good to go, I reckon. Yeah, it's all level. Right, and now what I'll do is I'll just run the bone folder down. And that should be good to go. So that's basically the assembly of the card. So what I'm going to do now is just add the little bits to make it look as pretty as this one. I won't bore you with all that because I can show you this again. So I hope you like that tutorial. So this was just a quick run through. So I hope you like this video, and these dies I think are really good. You could actually make the shadow box by yourself and use all your little dies that you've got, but yeah, moonstone dies by Hunky Dory, and this is the fairy bridge scene. So that's that one, and then that's your base, which you can make all your little shadow boxes. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again. Bye then.